Let's hear what's going on in real estate this week.
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
You got the world behind you. You got that TV screen showing the thing. Is that one of
exactly.
Elon Musk's spaceships that you've been on? Pictures? That's
no, I'm looking for Chinese weather balloons.
Awesome. So Brian's not with us today for Mission 35. I think he's on vacation or something like that. And Conrad is always there, whether he's on, no matter where in the world in the country. If he can be, he's usually there. Conrad's RE.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Niagara, and myself, Rob Golfi. The one thing we want to talk about now has it hit the newspapers yet, Conrad?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Globe and Mail reported today about the Fair Square closing down in Eastern Canada, Central and Western Canada. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just reported today, Globe and Mail.
They reported today. Okay, fine. And the funny thing is, I heard the first rumor about it was early this week. I think it was. I called you and I said, "Hey, it's Fair Square," and I think it was Wednesday, wasn't it? Was it Wednesday?
Yeah. No, it was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday. Wednesday of this week that I found out about it. It was just a rumor. It was, and I think it came from Ottawa, and I couldn't believe it. So I called you. You knew about it, and of course, you know everything that's going on. Now, my opinion. The reason why they failed. This is my opinion. So, okay, the name change happened too many times in the course of 5 years. People they confused the marketplace. Now, it started off as Comfrey. They were doing really well. Purple Bricks picked up. And they're from the UK. They did a lot of commercials on TV. They were doing a lot of marketing. So they were still going. Okay. Desjardins picks it up, does a little bit of marketing, but not too much. Now, I think they hurt themselves because of the name change, but also I think because of the market. Like, what do we call them? Discount brokerages? Or
I would say it's funny because is it a for sale by owner, but it's not. It's like a hybrid for sale by owner model, right? That's what it really is.
Okay, so let's say for sale by owner. They put your house on the market, and then basically you're on your own. So I think because of the market change that happened so much in the last 3 years, right? We had a boom market, and then we had a down market. Those companies. They are okay. I mean, they do great in the boom market, but they're not really doing a good service for their clients that they're selling for because they're not going to get the maximum exposure that they would with a realtor, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like realtors will get you 10, 20 offers in a crazy, busy, fast market, and Purple Bricks or Desjardins might get you 2 or 3. So you would actually lose money. You're saving money on commission, but you're losing money on the top end or of the sale price of your house. So that's the one thing. I think there probably had a chance if it was a balanced market. Is that am I correct on that? And they just basically, like, there was no market for them, or they just didn't have the wrong executives running that from Desjardins. I don't know.
Well, it's funny because, when you look at the U.S. landscape, right, there's never been a company like Fair Square, Comfrey, or Purple Bricks that ever took hold. Purple Bricks showed up in California, probably spent, I don't know, they were spending like $1 million like a month on advertising, if not more. They couldn't get any traction. And the funny thing is because, see, Canada, we've had this uninterrupted growth in real estate, right? We had a little bit of 2009 where it dipped. But then it was 3 months and then it kind of, got back to normal. So in the US, because, you live and die by the market, right? It's challenging. And it's one of those areas where you still need a professional, just like financial markets. Like, look, there are these companies that you can go on and trade your own stock. But at the end of the day, people still gravitate to companies that provide that great service and help people manage their money. And they can actually show managed money does better than when you do it yourself every day of the week. So again, this is the same principle in real estate. If you have to live and die by markets, it gets complicated. And you need to have that professional, like yourself and your team behind them, knowing the numbers, knowing the stats, knowing what's going on. and using some predictive analytics where the market's going to be in 2-3 weeks, and making quicker decisions, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So now, how many agents did these guys have? Like they were all over. Now they were in Ontario. Then obviously, were they running other provinces through Ontario?
Yeah, they had a great following in British Columbia. Alberta was very strong. Alberta is a really strong market. And then Ontario. I can't speak for the rest of the country, but I will say Ontario they probably had about 70 agents.
Wow.
And again, pockets, like really, like Ottawa was a strong market for them, and Collingwood was a strong market for them. So it wasn't that they, and it could have been, I'm not sure, it could have been the agents that were in those areas. I'm not 100% sure why they had those two areas were pretty strong in terms of their market share. Well, market share. Look, they look at one point they were up there when the market was like in 2021. They were the 6th largest lister in our area anyway, in Hamilton, Burlington. So
yeah, I remember that. And then, but I'll tell you something. I was watching and following Fair Square probably in the last 3 months, 4 months, and I noticed that they weren't carrying as many listings as they're used to. They were like, I saw their market share just dropped. Because I follow, other companies, and I follow other teams and all that kind of, just like you follow a lot of other companies and see what everybody's doing. So it kind of gives you a gauge of where you're at and where you're going, and it shows that you're on pace. Shows you're on pace. But I just couldn't believe it. And then bang, the ball dropped. I heard this, and it was big news. But so what do you think? You think somebody else is going to come into the marketplace and try to replace this? Or, I mean, they got big shoes to fill. So
yeah, it's going to take a ton of money. I don't see anything on the horizon in the short term. There was I would imagine they were burning through money. I can only imagine what kind of money their burn rate was. And the good news is that I think consumers, and the reason why I looked at it, and I know you did too with how Fair Square was doing, I think realtors in this transitional market got better at their jobs, okay, and were better articulating their jobs. And I think they really pulled that market share away from people like Fair Square. And I think that's something that really happened as well. But yeah, do I think, you got to be talking like, look, you got to talk marketing budgets of probably, $10 to $20 million to get the brand, like just for people to understand like what you do. Right. So, that's a big chunk. And I don't see, look, real estate is all that private equity money into real estate and real estate concepts is completely dried up. As a matter of fact, Properly, which is an online kind of service, what have you, they've laid off, I don't know, probably a third of their workforce. You're seeing it all over. It just they just can't sustain these shifts in the market, and their people aren't well trained enough and have the expertise to deal with what's going on in the market as it changes. Right.
That's it. So I'm going to pivot right now. So I did there's a group at McMaster University. I guess it's kind of some kind of group that they come together and they bring speakers in. So they asked me to come in and speak for people, talk about buying their first home, right? So
fantastic.
I went in there and I went in there and I said to these guys, I go, look, guys, I get it. I go, my generation, we graduated, whatever, school, post-secondary school, and the first thing we want to do is start making money. You guys want to find yourselves. I get it. You know what I mean? And figure out and travel. And I said, that's fine. But I said, I gave a piece of advice. Beg, borrow, figure a way to get money, buy that first house. And my suggestion was buy a bungalow, get an apartment in the basement, rent out the top floor, live in it or live at your parents' house. I think if you guys have parents that are willing to give you money and they know you're going to buy a house, they will be more than happy to help you to get that house. And then I said to them, house prices double every 10 years. But I'll tell you, it's going to be even more rapid. I predicted in 2030 that the average sale price on the Hamilton Burlington board is going to be between $1.7 and $1.8 million. And you guys look at that and probably thinking, there's no freaking way. Yeah. I said, believe me, it will happen. And just like we didn't think it's going to happen at the price it is now. Now, we just went through a real estate recession the last 9 months of 2022. I think we bottom and flatline. The recession that's going to kick in now is the retailers, because people's mortgages are a little higher now. They're going to be a little bit more conscious of spending money. So they're not going to be buying those little extra things that they don't need. They're going to only buy things that they need. And so we're going to find they're going to feel it more. I think we went through a recession. We went through a real estate recession, but now we're even finding right now the market is picking up right now as we speak.
100%.
And I told him, I said, buy a house. If you can find a house under $500,000, that's fine. That means you only have to come up with $25,000 down payment, and maybe another. You need $10,000 for closing. That's including land transfer tax. Get that house, buy a bungalow, small, rent out the basement, rent out the main floor, and then do the same thing in 5 years. Refinance it, buy another one. And if you buy a house every 5 years for the rest of your life, you will become a multi-millionaire. Equity,
great advice.
Strong, very nice. And it can be done. All you have to do is come up with the one down payment. And I'm showing these guys on the board and saying how to do it. And they're like, now they want to become real estate agents. They were awesome. There. How can I become how do I become a realtor? It was funny. It was a good speaking. I enjoyed it. I had Mission 35 there speaking also on mortgages. It was pretty enlightening. I enjoyed it, and I don't know, Conrad. Like, I truly feel that like in the next 20 years, it's going to be our cycles are going to be way shorter than they were in the last 30 years.
Oh,
totally.
Like
Especially, like, did you hear in Niagara Falls right now, they got 3,000 people living in hotels?
Yeah, it's crazy,
These people got to find a place to live. The hotel owners are saying, listen, we can't have these guys in here after May 24, because that's our tourist season. That's where we make our money. So Jim Diodati's like, hey, listen, we can't have that many more people coming to Niagara Falls. We got to find houses for these guys. And there's not enough. There's not enough.
We're about, Ontario's 12, like when they look at household creation, CMHC just came out with the number. We're about 12,000 short, units short per year based on household creation. So where Alberta is on the other side, and so is Quebec's gonna have a surplus of units in Quebec, believe it or not, over the next couple of years. So we're behind. This is a crisis of proportion. And you know what the problem too is, and they just came out today. Hamilton is the most affordable city to buy into in Southern Ontario and Ontario. So that's another thing with $800,000 average price. The problem is it's going to creep up quickly, and cost of construction is so high. This is something that I don't know how they're going to solve it, but anybody, your advice is so important. Get in quickly. And again, there's going to be some mortgage changes in April, May coming down the pipe, that it's going to be really paramount for you to get into the market as soon as you can. Rob, your advice is sound and sage.
That's it, man. Listen, Conrad, we're running out of time. Thank you so much, and we'll chat next week, buddy. All right.
Excellent. Thanks, buddy. Ciao.
Take care.